Welcome to my apiary. I'm out here doing something that I was doing the other day, and we're just going to continue on. That I was taking some of these that are 10 frame boxes, and maybe they're not quite getting it, and I'll preserve them in these little 4s. I've got the equipment, so why not? If they can make a frame or two of brood this summer, great. If not, whatever, I haven't lost anything. Started my smoker, but it doesn't seem to be cooperating. Find a hive tool and get to work. So I know I'm known for wearing shorts and t-shirt and stuff, and I don't even want to wear a veil today. It's so hot. But I'm crazy, I'm not stupid. Alright. It's hot days, you know, you don't really need a lot of smoke, but put that marker there. This has a star on it, which means it's, you know, there's something there. It's not a dud. Patty's dried up. All right, now this is, I'm certainly not expecting that this is going to go into a 4 frame because they look like they're progressing. So what do I want to do here? I'd like to freshen up some comb. So I'll take out whatever doesn't have brood on it, like that one. And I'll put fresh honeycomb in its place. So there's not brood. I hate that I'm doing this. I have to take pollen and nectar out. Hopefully they won't push them back too much. Now that's pretty fresh comb. There's nothing in it. But I see capped brood here. So we'll start again at this side. Oh, drones walking around. Okay, there's a smattering of sealed brood, lots of pollen, and she's filled in, and there's the queen, filled in the empty spots. So that's, I mean, if that's all nest, that's a pretty respectable nest, and I do see brood throughout here. So that's really nice. I've got, I don't know if you can hear that. Those are sandhill cranes. I saw one fly by here just a few minutes ago. They are an absolutely immense bird. I'm convinced they've got to have an 8 to 10 foot wingspan. And I've seen them standing in the hayfield. I'm sure they're 6 feet tall. They're just huge bird. Okay, I've got 3 there. I'll get 3 nice new ones. I think I have some here. Okay, they'll live to see another day. I know they don't quite have the population yet. They got plenty of brood. This one's missing a frame. Got myself a brand new flashlight for this season. Oh yeah, had it right full. Okay, so this is a slab of sealed brood on this side. Let's see how far that goes. Oh, that's a complete frame of feed. That's solid, absolutely solid, both sides. And this one feels solid too, but it's not. There's some sealed brood, a whole bunch of pollen there. So that's the end of the nest on that side. Oop, sorry. Just don't want anybody getting stuck in the middle. Okay, so there's, I think, 5. Okay, there's pollen, a little bit of nectar and honey, and some sealed brood. This will probably go into a 4-frame box. I had a wise beekeeper tell me when I started this, you know, and it's kind of a commentary about a new beekeeper's propensity to try to save every colony. And basically it's the principle, don't waste good equipment on crappy bees. Because this is crappy bees right here. Right? I've only got 3 frames, I can put another one in a 4. This one looks like it's going somewhere. I was thinking about my 2 nights rule for reorienting colonies in the apiary. Meaning, close a colony up, and normally it's a nuke, it's not a colony, but it's not a production, you know what I mean. Close it up, move it into my air-conditioned building, and I leave it there for 2 nights. And there's reasons for that. Is, I believe, the time required to reset that mental GPS where they live. I believe it's longer than, there's a nice nest going on way out there. I believe it's longer than 24 hours. I believe it's shorter than 48 hours. Because I've always done about 32 to 36 hours. And it's worked well. However, I'll usually close them up in the evening, take them in, let them sit that night, the next day, the next night, and bring them out in the morning on the 3rd day. I had refreshed some of these, and that's all full, while the top of it's full of young larvae. But I think what would probably also work is if I came out here early and closed them up and took them in the building, and then brought them out the following morning. That would be 24 hours. So it would have kind of the same effect because they'd be inside all night already. So it really doesn't matter if they're inside all night in the apiary or inside all night in the building, right? So the other reason I do 2 nights is because it's easier for me to remember, and I don't remember things very well sometimes, but I can look at those hives, those little nukes in the building, and I can think for my reminder, did I bring those in here yesterday? If the answer is no, then I'm free to take them out. right? Because that means they've been in here for at least 2 nights. So that's another reason I leave them for 2 nights. Yeah, so this one I think is doing good. We'll leave it in this box, and I'll just get 4 fresh frames to put in there for them. This colony is probably gonna produce me honey this year. A little bit of sealed brood there. And some younger larvae around it. And this refresh project is sure a lot of work. Man, that's a lot of work. I think it's going to make a difference though. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think that. That's all pollen. Sealed brood on that. This frame isn't that bad. I'll leave it with them. It's a judgment call. They might just as well go into a nuke. What do I do? I have to have criteria that I stick to so it's not subjective on every colony. It's really only 3 frames of brood there. Okay, it goes into a 4 frame box. And even these little 4 framers, if they start getting too big for their pants, I have some 4 frame boxes. I can just honey super these. You know, I shouldn't have to, but if that's what happens. Oh dear. There's 2 pounds of patty waste today. I mean, I can still use that, but put on those 2 pounds of patty in the spring for no reason. A little bit of sealed brood there, and queen cell. And queen cell's there too. Queen cell. So this is done. And what I can do is shake the bees off, kill those queen cells, and then stick that little bit of brood in somewhere else. You know, the next one that I see. Can put some frames in. Huh. This one's no better off. I see sealed brood though. That's a mess. See, this is what I'm trying to get away from. Look at the poop. So, is there anything here? Sealed brood, open brood. I didn't see a queen, but we'll see how young it is. It's pretty young. There's probably a queen in here. Amazing you get these colonies that hardly any bees and you can't find a queen. The flashlight sure is hot from being in my pocket. Is this the sun? I'm going to do the same. I'm going to shake these out. Unless I can see a queen. Well, I think she's walking on the wall, that's why. I'll push this over. So maybe I'll get a 4 frame. I'll put these two and those last two in with that queen. Hopefully she's gone up on that frame now. Nope. Look at that crazy queen. Maybe there was no queen. Sure, I saw her. Okay, that'll sit there for a bit until I figure out what to do with it. These are the other 2 little frames. I don't know if there's queen in there or not. So this is going to be just a refresh. They'll likely stay in this box. And there's brood there. It's all nectar on that one. And this is a good sign. I mean, they're eating this up, so that's really good. Some of these actually might get seconds here pretty soon. Mostly just feed. Cured feed, that's money down the drain. I'm gonna render all that off and it's just gonna go down the tube. You see how much feed these bees use over the winter, right? And sure, this was a small colony. But, you know, I haven't fed these since early October. And that's 4 frames of feed, and this is another one. You know, there's nothing wrong with this frame. I don't think there's any wrong with any of those frames. The only thing wrong with them is they're full. They're full of nectar. This is full too, packed out with nectar and pollen. Okay, this is the nest, but it's packed out with pollen as well. Okay, so she's really, all she needs is empty space. Oh, I got 6 there. So I could bring 4. I'm gonna put both of these. I'm gonna put these on the outside. And I'll put 2 fresh empties in there. Yeah. I wonder if they would eat some of that leftover patty that I have and put some on there. These feed frames are fairly clean, except for this one. So I got 3 fairly clean feed frames here. I'll keep those out. Maybe I'll use them in other colonies. Uh-oh. Oh, that looks kind of weird. Yuck. There's eggs all throughout that. Just a very little bit of sealed brood on that. Just gonna see what the next one looks like. Well, looks pretty good on this side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 4 replacements. You see me put that end one in first quite a bit before this one. That's because the hive clip is at the bottom, and if I try to slide that in last, often it'll bind on that hive clip. It's just easier to put it in and slide it over. I don't know if they're eating this or not. I'll give that little bit to them. So I think this is going to be a pretty decent colony. I'm right. Well, we'll see. I see white wax here, so they're definitely been taking advantage of the dandelion flow. And they're working all the way out here. So that's a good sign. But they might be plugged out. There's brood there. Okay. I'm actually going to check this. If they've been plugged out a while, they might be getting ideas. Yeah, they need a second box. Look at these guys. Look at them go. We split this one already. So that may mean we took 1 frame of brood, but still. All those empty cells are filled with young brood. There's a little cup there. There's nothing in it. Slabs of brood. Slabs of brood. So slab of brood means 3 more frames of bees in the next 12 days. That's so heavy. It's right full of pollen. That'd be a good cell builder frame. That's all dandelion nectar. I'm gonna free these up. I'm gonna give them a second box too. So I'm gonna give them 3 new ones. And a whole second box. This queen has definitely got her groove on. Okay, we'll let her lay right in that box. Okay, let's see that again. I don't mind putting second boxes on at all. Oh, look at this. Hear them. Bearding. See, they've been so weak I haven't taken reducers out. It's brood in the middle of that and a lot of nectar. So I think what's going to happen here, I'm just going to put a second box on this, which makes me very happy. Okay, the last 2 in this row. I need to take a break after this. I need a drink. It's hot, hot, hot. Not going to need a second box, but they might be okay. That's kind of nasty. brood there. And that big nest is just off center, and that's pollen. That's brood there. Okay, I'll put that pollen on the outside and bring 6 more frames. Put 3 on each side there. There's open and sealed brood on that. And pollen and sealed brood, open brood. Okay. And again, I don't know if we're going to heat that, but leave it for them. Okay, I think this is the first one that we doubled up. It's a real powerhouse coming out of winter. Very healthy, very vigorous. And I just want to contain some of that vigor. Things get out of hand a little too easily. Let's just quickly look in the top box. There should be a lot of dandelion nectar in here. Dandelion honey. A lot of white wax. Oh, sorry. Very heavy. Yeah, right full. I think cap that I could actually harvest that dandelion honey. I've not maybe done that more than once in my 9 years. Huh. It's really nice. Now, doesn't do the queen any good. Okay, she's reserved that spot. Whether or not there are eggs in there, I can't say yet. That is that's not black foundation. So it's hard to see. Oh yeah, there's milk brood in there for sure. What about the outside? Yeah, milk brood there too. But there could be 6 frames of dandelion honey here. I'll have to watch that. To cure it, I could take it, get myself a few jars of dandelion honey. So I'm gonna tip this up and check for cells under the top box. I'm trying to check for signs of swarming. Oh. I don't think there are any. Little cups here, but nothing remarkable. Nothing with anything in them. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside and tip up the bottom one. This is full again though. Oh. This is a huge beard on the front. And there's no story frame in this. I just saw a drone larva here, and I don't see that very often because generally I have story frames, but there's no story frame on this one. that right up. Okay. There looks to be drone cells. I was hoping to keep these strong for next weekend to use for my queen rearing workshop. Looks like I'm okay there. You know, not all swarm cells are on the bottom though like that, so. Oh, there's a lot of bees there. What do? I give them a third box just to keep them happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, again, as I've described before, this has a 2022 queen in it, this 6-frame box. These are kind of reserved for current year queens. So this has to go somewhere. And I need to relocate it in the apiary, so that means I want to put it in a box that I can close up, which means one of my 4-frame boxes or pro nuke. And looking in here, it looks like there's 4 frames fairly nicely there. So I'm going to put that in a 4-frame box. And then, if I can, I'm going to collect all of these tonight and take them into my building. I'm going to collect all of the pro nukes and all the 4-framers and move into the building tonight. Leave them in there for 2 nights. These 4-framers don't have any space, so I need to get rid of that comb. The screen is right at the bottom of the box. Because this will be just what I call a resource nuke for this summer. Kind of nasty frames. We'll drop it. Okay, so lift this off. And just set this in its place. And then we come back when everybody's gone to bed. Close the door and load them up. They need more than 4 frames, so I just put them in a pro nuke. I can at least give them 5. She didn't lay on that last one, so 4 will do it. It's only for a couple days. There's the queen. And I forgot to bang the bees in. The queen's in there, I've seen her, so they'll find their way. That's kind of useless. Again, this is a 21 queen, so the fact that she's in this box is not a good sign. She shouldn't have been in this box last year. But she's laying. So we'll let her produce brood this summer. Skim it off for other projects. Make some use out of a queen that's not doing so good. See, there's 3 frames, there's nothing on the 4th one. I didn't see the queen, so not really sure where she is. Hope she's not on the bottom board. Just set that right there. And there's eggs in that, so I think that's gonna have to go in a pro nuke Hopefully she hasn't laid in this one. Nope. Okay. This one's about to really explode. There's some serious brood going on. There's the queen. So I know she's in there, that's good. There's almost nothing in here. What should I do? There's a little nest going here. I'll leave her be. There's the queen. It's always nice to see the queen on a transfer. Some of these bottom boards really nasty. So I set these lids on here just to keep the sun off the pronuke. I mean, I wish I'd have done that many days ago. They've been there a long time. But oh, sure, she's butt deep into my finger there as I'm holding both these frames. Yikes. Ouch. Actually, this looks pretty good, but it has to move. It has to move. I put it in a 10-frame box. Well, it might fit in a pronuke for now. I'll put the box on top to keep the sun off it. It stung right in the underside of the knuckle. Just moving too quickly. Okay, I think I need a pronuke for that one. Seems to be a laying queen there. Well, that lid just said 21. I wore out. I have more out. As you can imagine, look how wet I am. So, I'm going to try to get back here tonight, and it's likely going to be 9 o'clock. I'm going to pick up every 4-frame and every pro nuke in here. I should count. The only ones I'm not going to pick up are the pro nukes that are in this last row on the 6-frame pallets, because they'll stay there. I shouldn't say the pro nukes. The new queen pro nukes, the new splits, those Konas and Carpathians that I just got, they'll stay there this summer and into winter. So that's all that I don't have to take. Everything else I'm going to take into the building, let them sit there on ice for 2 nights, bring them back, and then all of the Carpathians and Konas that I have over into this area here will all come over here into the, I guess I'm pointing this way, over into the 6-frame row. Oh, I am tired. And yeah, so that's the plan. And that'll be Wednesday. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care and have fun.